All right. Wow, we have 115 here in Discord. Man, I don't know how to get these numbers in over to Twitter when we do that stuff in Twitter. Gotta get better at that. All right. So let's get this party started here. All right. The first question that I have here, and again, I'm gonna go read through the document and try to address each one of them individually. First question. Hello, Michel. Do you think if we go over the good aspects of adapting the banking system to crypto, which is perfect for many people? Okay. There's a period there, so I'm gonna try to like rephrase this. However, what do you think? What kind of solution do we come up with? How the banks that are in use, especially the state banks, will look at structures like this and want to limit us? Okay, this is by Einan Yalkin. Hope I said your your name correct. All right, I think that what you are addressing here, what the question is about, is how do you think the banks, the regular banks, are going to react to us wanting to bring, um, uh, you know, kind of like bring their customers into the DeFi world? And we actually have a pending blog post that will probably come out a little bit later. We've been like delaying it and delaying it and delaying it because we have had so many news coming out. But we have a blog post that is actually addressing that. I think that a couple of us here have actually seen what that looks like. But the title even of that blog post is. We do need banks, not just the central ones. And I think it addresses this very same question of like, are banks our enemies? And the answer is no, banks are not our enemies. We do need banks, and what we're fighting is not banks. What we're fighting is central banking, the central banking system, meaning banks that are heavy-handed by central government and authority. There used to be, back in the day, that the banking system was called the free banking system, meaning it looked very much like the way that crypto looks today. We're coming very, very rapidly to be able to implement or to have on-chain governance on the DAO on Q1 of 2022. All of you are going to be able to exercise your votes directly on chain. And we already are like a fairly large group of people, and we're in the tens of thousands already. Like we're 28,000 people here in Discord, people that have at least any kind of level up or skill role, which would be more qualified to do this. We are in the thousands of people on that as well. So yeah, and it's a matter of time before like we are a self-regulating organism that that can move and manage all of our decisions in treasury and everything in a fully decentralized. There's not going to be anybody to knock on our door to say, oh, you need to stop doing this, or we want to shut down your server or anything like that, right? So the closer we get to this, the more safe we would be against any kind of retaliation by any central authority, including government. Question number 2, I'm going to move on from here. Question number 2, hello, do you have a solution for the losses arising from volatility of cryptocurrency? Sometimes interest given for the stake is not as much as the damage of the market price. Carafa asked for that. I don't, but I think that you're looking at this from the very wrong angle or from the very wrong end of the spectrum. You can look at I don't know. I'm gonna pick something that is like a very very relevant for everybody. Housing, okay? Housing in the year 2021 has skyrocketed in price. If you price housing in respect to the US dollar, everybody would be able to say, can say, oh my God, houses have gone through the roof. Like prices of houses are like out of this world. This is insane how much they have appreciated. Or you can look at that from a different angle, which is, holy smokes, houses have actually gotten quite cheap, because the same amount of Bitcoin that I used to have before actually can buy me a lot more house that I used to buy with that same amount of Bitcoin a year ago. So it's a very different perspective. A Bitcoin has always been a Bitcoin. The one thing that has depreciated quite a bit is the fiat that you are holding. So, there's no losses. Yes, there is volatility, but the volatility is not happening necessarily on the like on the crypto. It happens on the leverage that crypto has against the fiat that you're comparing it to. That's why it's volatile. Um, so I think that will continue to be the case. We are somewhat in a crypto summer right now, comparatively speaking to crypto, and we don't give financial advice in general. Do your own research. It's crypto. Like, yeah, do your own research. I'm not gonna get into that. As a DAO, and the products that we offer also don't give any financial advice. We give you the tools for you to move faster, easier, better, more fluidly in the market, but the decisions that you make are your own. And this is a big part of being, if you really want to be trustless and permissionless and want to keep self-custody of your funds and all of those things, there's certain uh, responsibility that comes associated with that you need to understand. If not, there's plenty of centralized services that will host um, your your tokens for you. So yeah, there's that. Number 3, any plans for MeanFi to get into the metaverse trend in the future? Kingsman asked this question. Um, so let's see. MeanFi, no. Mean protocol, yes. And I think that this is kind of somewhat of a misconception. We have not done such a good job at making sure that people, especially here in the DAO, understand the distinction. But as a DAO, we're a product DAO, and we have 2 products. They are not the same thing. They are 2 products. They get developed in different repos. They get developed with different timelines, with different objectives. One leverages the other, but those 2 products are, number 1, MeanFi, and that is the application that everybody loves. We do all of the everyday banking workflows. It is phenomenal for people coming from TradFi, or people coming from centralized exchanges looking to get a little bit more involved into the DeFi space. It is a portal into all things DeFi. It is the app that everybody uses today. That app and many of the workflows that are powered through that app are made possible because of the Mean protocol. Mean protocol does not have a UI. Mean protocol does not have buttons to click and stuff like that. Mean protocol is just a set of smart contracts that live on chain. There are 3 different smart contracts on the Mean protocol. Contract number 1 is the liquidity aggregation on chain. Contract number 2 is the dollar cost average, or the block tempo, which is basically a cron job on chain. Does something somewhat in the neighborhood of what Serum does in terms of being able to schedule recurring callbacks on chain, fully decentralized. And contract number 3 is money streams, which is our bread and butter. A lot of the use cases that we can power, like for example, the actual DCA, the scheduling future transfers, the ability to do payroll, all of those things, treasury management, all of those things are powered through money streams. Okay, and those 3 contracts are part of the Mean protocol. Mean protocol is a open source, super agnostic, very general purpose protocol that can be leveraged by any other application developer to power these kinds of everyday banking workflows on their applications. Okay, and you can think about a lot of these applications, a lot of these everyday banking workflows as things that are super simple, but that are not very available on DeFi. I'll give you one example. If I wanted to send Durden $100 using our good old bank accounts, okay, every single central bank and every single bank account allows for me to send that money immediately, like right now, or I can schedule that payment to go out next Friday, because that is either when I have the money or that is when Durden needs the money. Okay. But if you try to think about that very specific case, being able to schedule a payment in the future, forget about the fact that we're in Solana, like across any blockchain, think about a single self-custody application that allows you to do that. And you're going to be hard pressed to find one. There's very few applications that allow you to actually do that very, very simple use case. And we do. So like we allow that and we can make that because of money streams. Another very simple use case is dollar cost averaging. Everybody loves that. So we have, everybody that opens up for the first time a Coinbase account or a Kraken account or any centralized exchange account, the very first things that people do is, okay, let me get myself invested into crypto by putting a little bit of my money to work for me. I'm gonna take $50. I'm going to invest that every week on Bitcoin. And they configure that and they're happy every week. They don't have to open the app, remember that this is happening, and they will be basically part of the ecosystem by that one very simple configuration that they did at the beginning. If you go and try to think again, how many applications across all of DeFi give you very simple to use, simple to understand, censorship resistant, self-custody, trustless, permissionless, dollar cost average? If you can name 3, you are the exception. Maybe like 1 or 2 you can name, but we give you that power of doing that very same thing, and that is a combination of money streams and the DCA contract that we have, which is the block tempo. Okay. So all of those things are, again, powered by the protocol, but like used and leveraged on MeanFi. Now, another reason why MeanFi exists is not only to serve as like that place where everybody that comes from the traditional financing sector or centralized exchanges lands on DeFi, but also because you want that application to be an example or to serve as a repository of good use cases for the things that money streams and DCAs can power, for the things that the Mean protocol can power, so that other developers can emulate the things that we're doing in MeanFi and build it in their own applications. It is impossible for MeanFi to become the one-stop shop for every single thing that people want to do in DeFi and in crypto. So it would be silly for us to try to think that we can dominate the market in the same way that there's not a single banking application or bank in the world. There's many different ones because ones do certain things better than others. We are going to be another one, and we want to make sure that, we want to be fair and compete all the way in every possible way to offer our customers the best experience in DeFi that they can get. But we realize that if we want to make sure that we collectively succeed in the ecosystem, that we have to open up those experiences so that others can emulate the things that work. And we already have many of those things that you're going to see in more details announced. You can already kind of like see some of the hints that are happening with some of the partners that we already have, some of the partners that we're going to be announcing as well, how they are going to be integrating some of our workflows into their products, and vice versa, how we're going to be bringing some of their products out into MeanFi for everybody to enjoy. So that is that. That was a very long answer to the question, can we get into the metaverse? Actually, I don't even know how I got here. Are we planning to get into the metaverse? The answer for MeanFi is no. We are strictly about banking and giving access to everybody in the world to a powerful bank account they can understand and they can use worldwide with very low fees, very low transaction, very low friction. But on the main protocol side, the answer is yes. And there's many, many, many different use cases that, for example, in the case particularly of MoneyStream, we can and we will be leveraging some metaverses. Again, announcements coming soon on how you can use MoneyStream in a metaverse. But you can imagine, for example, I'll give you one example. Okay, there's a lot of gaming projects out there that use the play to earn model. And that means that as you're playing, you are making money or you're earning tokens or the utility tokens for that particular game at a specific rate. Okay. Now, normally the way that this works is that you accumulate kind of like some sort of like point system in the game, and then those are redeemable for actual tokens of the game. But now, because we have money streams, you can actually link second by second gameplay to your earnings. What that means is that as you're moving through the game, you can see your income tick, 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 coming up because you are connected to the game via a money stream, right? So like that's just one use case. The use cases are truly infinitum from there. So short answer, Mean Protocol 100% is going to be in the metaverse very, very soon. All right, let's move on here so that we can cover more questions here. Michel, I have this question I'd like to get off my chest. Woo! This looks like a hot one coming in. Let's see. After Mean token launch, how will the team maintain this level of activeness in the community? Okay, because we all know 3/4 of the people here is for the drop, and after the drop, we won't be seeing this level of activity. I think is what you mean. Ito-san Jr. All right, Ito-san. Good question. Good question, actually. Yeah. So for those who don't know, I think that everybody knows, but we are doing some massive airdrop as part of the like right after the IDO, like immediately after the IDO, so but. So a lot of people, yes, there's a lot of airdrop hunters. It's kind of hard to escape airdrop hunters online. We, for once, for example, we don't do any kind of paid promos. We haven't like any like it's even like surprising for us to kind of like go to YouTube and see how many people are talking about MeanFi and talking about us. There's no way for us to prevent that from happening. And we hope that people find value in MeanFi irrespective of how many tokens they get on the airdrop. But the way that the airdrop is designed and the way that the IDO is designed and the way that things are designed is so that people cannot dump necessarily after that. And the only way that you will actually be able to benefit 100% of the airdrop is if you're not like you're not necessarily a super active community member. You will stand to gain a lot from using and leveraging MeanFi on a day-to-day basis. So that you have a little bit of perspective, and this is like we're gonna make like the more formal announcement with a breakdown of all the details of that in relatively soon. But I'll tell you all here, and you're hearing it first here. 100% of the initial distributions of the Mean tokens, including team tokens, including launchpad tokens, including private round tokens, including advisor tokens, including airdrop tokens, are going to be distributed using, you guessed it, money streams. So, and they're going to be distributed over a period of time. Again, I'm not going to go into the details in there because it's going to, become a little bit everybody wanting to know about the details and this and that and the other. Like, just wait patiently, please. Like in In a little less than a week, we're gonna be publishing all of the details around that everywhere in the interwebs. Wow, like 150 people. That's yeah, we have good attendance. So that Ito-san Jr. Means that all of those people, every single investor that has participated, including the SoftBanks, the Three Arrows, the Defiance, everybody else that participated, everybody from the core team, everybody, like all of the ambassadors, all of the mods, everybody from the community, everybody that participates on the airdrop, everybody that participates on the launchpad, everybody that participates anywhere. If you want to make the most out of your tokens, you have to use MeanFi, at least during the duration of your vesting schedule for that. There will be another way that you can actually get them. I'm not gonna like jump that trigger here. You already got enough alpha for this meeting on that. But yeah, so that will hopefully not only give people an incentive to continue to use Mean and MeanFi, but will also align the community to. It will also guarantee an extreme alignment in terms of, you know, people not wanting to not only dump the token, but people actually wanting the token to gain in value. And for if you care about the token to continue to rise in value and to continue to gain, because of course you know that part of your token, part of your airdrop allocation or any kind of allocation that you're receiving, the longer, you know, like you're going to be receiving those tokens throughout time. Like you want those tokens in the future to be worth more than those tokens right now. Therefore, it kind of like creates a very closed loop incentive for everybody to be rooting for the project for a long time, at least for as long as the vesting schedule is ongoing. So hopefully that answers your question about. And if we have 3/4 of the people that don't care about anything about the airdrop, just leave. I'm serious about that. If you don't think that this is something that the world needs, if you don't think that what we're doing is worthy of actually supporting, irrespective of the size of the airdrop or not, you should not. You're almost like, I can tell you're not welcome in this community. So we will not be at all like mad if you pack your bags and head out the door. We have plenty of people that do care about the actual mission that we have, the vision that we're building here together, and yeah, we'll be better without you. So not a problem with that. We are doing this massive airdrop, and we're doing this, like, I mean, how many projects do you know out there that have a 70% community allocation on their tokenomics? Very few, very few. And this is on purpose because we want to make sure that this is a community first project, and that people don't feel that they're that they're getting essentially the bad side of the apple by, you know, big investors and stuff like that, right? So like we are quite literally like giving away for free more tokens that we've ever granted to the team, to the investors, to anybody else. Like there are more free tokens that we're airdropping than what we have allocated for any of the other rounds, including the IDO itself. So, you know, that is a big deal. Yeah, and it is on purpose. All right, question number 4. No, question number 5. Michel, seeing that the Mean protocol is having a lot of utilities, how does the team intend to compete with other protocols in every aspect of each of its use cases? Mystique asked that question. That's a great question, and the answer is that we are not competing with other protocols in every aspect of each of its use cases. We are partnering with those protocols to bring their utility onto MeanFi. And that is yet another main distinction between MeanFi, the product, and Mean Protocol, the product. Okay, Mean Protocol is not competing with anybody, any of those other protocols that you're mentioning, because like we have something unique and special, and nobody else is doing it the way that we are doing it, and is nobody else is building what we're building in the way that we're building it on Mean Protocol. But on MeanFi, MeanFi is a portal. It's a portal to the rest of DeFi, and we want our partners to be showcased here. Case in point, for example, Solrise, they have phenomenal funds. We already discussed this on our previous AMA. Do you think that it makes sense for us on MeanFi to build now a protocol that actively manages index funds and that brings together like auto rebalancing and reinvestments and all of those complicated things that index funds provide, so that we can like offer it through MeanFi.com? No, the absolute best thing that we can do is partner up with Solrise, make sure that we whitelist some of the index funds that they are providing, some of the products that they have, and we offer that prepackaged in easier, more chewable forms to our users on MeanFi directly. That is a big advantage for both projects. That is the way that we are approaching partnerships. We have a lot to offer to almost every single DeFi project out there, because we have, number one, a very large audience on MeanFi already. We have over 50,000 members, and we have over 3,000, almost 4,000 daily active users, thousands of transactions that are happening on the platform for months now, for weeks now. I guess you can start counting months after 2. So like for months now. So we have a lot to offer each other on this exchange, and that's a way that we're approaching partnerships. So yeah, we have a lot of eyeballs that we can give their products, and they have a lot of interesting products that we don't want to build ourselves from zero. And there you go. That's matchmaking made in heaven. All right. Question number 6 here. Yes, I understand also there will be legal issues about that. I am also a lawyer. I don't know what that is, but I think Crypto Selman is a lawyer and is asking, did you take any legal actions about that? I really don't have the context of what that means. Some states allow that. So let's say, let's start make some activity like that. Do you have any actions or any research? If yes, what are those? Thanks in advance. I don't know, Dirt and Tariq, help. I don't know what that means. He's referring to something probably that was taken out of context. I don't know what that question is referring to. I'm going to move on. Question number 7. You said minting might start next week. We should use a wallet we use to communicate in the Mindex, or could we use a different wallet? Is it a must we use the wallet we use to communicate with DEX? Okay, Danny. So if you want to claim your airdrop, the answer is yes. We will be announcing next week some of the countermeasures that we're taking, and the way, and like officially the way that we are filtering the list to avoid bots, cyber attacks, and automated activity. We have a lot of that. We have over and like I say this out loud, and it's almost like a little hard to believe. We have over 100,000 wallets that have applied for the airdrop. We are nowhere even close to having 100,000 qualified addresses that actually qualify for the airdrop. So we know for a fact that after we run the algo to filter that out, a lot of those things are going to, a lot of those addresses are gonna fall off. And so yeah, we're gonna announce like like some of the measurements that we're taking to prevent that. But yeah, soon we'll be announcing all of those. Here's the thing, like you might be asking, hey Michel, but why don't you tell us right now what are the measures, like what are you doing to filter out the bad actors? And the answer is because bad actors are also listening and are also like, if I tell you all the rules, immediately all of those bot makers are going to go and try to build the logic to go around that rule to avoid being singled out from the airdrop. And then we're going to have like yet more work to do to filter out, oh, they discovered this new way of getting around the rules that we put. So like we have to announce those things very early on to snapshot date or very close to snapshot to avoid basically getting into the constant trickster game of all of those people trying to register a bunch of bot accounts and a bunch of automated accounts for it. Right? Okay. Question number. Oh wait, this changed here. Wait, what happened here? All right. Question number 7. I guess it is a must to hold soul, rice, grape, or pork to receive the mean token. Dr. Strange, read the rules. So just, I mean, like I don't think that we're asking for much. There is an entire document about what that means, but each of those protocols are receiving a 400,000 a grant of mean tokens. They each decide their own rules as to how or who would be eligible to receive those. So I think, for example, in the case of Selenium, they have like levels. So level 4 and 5, I think, are going to be the ones that are going to qualify for that. In the case of Grape, it is, I think, is called a Grade Ape. It's the people that are Grade Ape memberships or above, or maybe that's the top membership. In the case of Port, they have like a different kind of like rule set. If you are a token holder, my advice is like keep the eyes out for the like formal rules and announcements like prior to the IDO. We're going to make sure that those are prior to the airdrop, so that if you need to make any adjustments, those are going to come out. But the rules are not actually defined by us. They are defined by each one of the partner protocols and enforced by Grape. So you will need Grape access to validate your token holdings with Grape on each one of those protocols. So there's that part too. All right, number 8. Okay, let me roll in the questions. All right. I've read through the docs. Wait, who's this? Mean Alpha Ape. All right. So Mean Alpha 8 says, I read through the docs, gone through the products, and understand we're building MeanFi to champion DeFi sector on the Solana ecosystem. Yes, so here are my questions. Is MeanFi planning to offer financial decision making? No, I don't even want to like finish the question. I already answered that. We are not financial advisors. We do not give you any kind of financial decision making. We give you the tools for you to make your own decisions. We try to make it simple, and we try to make the tools self-explanatory, and we try to make the decision making process that you go through as streamlined as possible. But we will not now, not ever, give you any financial advice over what you need to or can do or should do with your money. So hopefully that is extra, super abundantly clear. Question B. In decision making, I mean, if someone, no, I'm not going to go there. We're not making that kind of stuff. So we're not an assistant of decision making process, period. The end of the conversation. All right, next question. Pablo Coman asks, poor finance collaboration, can you shed more light? People are here yet to wrap their head over the partnership. You should read the tweet or the tweet thread, the thread that we posted on that. So what do we do with Port? Like, what does that partnership mean? So Port has a suite of products in the lending and borrowing and market market products that allow people to essentially put their money to good use while it is at rest. Okay, so if you have a little bit of Bitcoin, or if you have a little bit of Sol, or if you have a little bit of USDC, and you don't necessarily want to get rid of it, or you don't want to be exposed necessarily to the impermanent loss of investing in a liquidity pool, you can go to lending and borrowing protocol, and put that money there to work, and you will be a lot more protected. It is a lot less risky. There is still an associated risk to it, and you should do your own research, of course. But you do have the option of, with a lot less risk, put your money to kind of work for you. The partnership with Port means a couple of things. There are some things that I can disclose right now, and some other things that you'll have to wait until a little bit later. But from the direct benefit that it has for MeanFi users is that is twofold. Number one, any kind of balances that you are holding in the wallet that you connect to MeanFi, you will be able to directly invest it in, again, like white label portions of the Port Finance protocol. So not all the lending and borrowing markets, not all of the money markets are going to be available, and we're going to be kind of like favoring some of the lower risk type of markets to expose through MeanFi, and little by little, as we get a more advanced community and people want riskier assets to be exposed, we can probably open them up little by little in there. But we'll probably end up first opening up lower risk markets for everybody, so that you can very easily go to a soon to be released invest tab that you can like basically right click from your account and say, hey, deploy some of this capital directly into this particular money market or into this particular lending and borrowing, and you will be making yield on the assets that you have in your wallet. Right. So that's number one. Number two, it is to so Port is going to be our preferred partner, and I say prefer because ultimately you're going to see how there going to be multiple partners that kind of fit into this proposition, but is going to be our preferred partner for making money streams super capital efficient. So the use case here is the following: every time that someone is sending a money stream from person A to person B, there is a certain amount of value that needs to be locked in the money streaming contract. That money streaming contract is the one that is doing the streaming from person A to person B. So you can see those numbers kind of moving as you're making a future transfer, or as you're making payroll, or as you're making any of the use cases for money streams. However, while the money it is sitting in the vault, it is not very capital efficient, meaning you're not able to actually invest it or diversify it or do anything with it. It is simply waiting to be vested out into the recipient of that money stream. Instead of you being able to only do that option, you will very soon have the option of, when you initiate a money stream, say for example that you are an employer and you have 5 employees that you are paying salaries using money streams, you can simply fund your payroll treasury, the account that is used to pay those 5 employees, and you can say immediately as you add funds into the treasury, hey, by the way, I would like to earn some money on the money that hasn't been paid out yet, that belongs to me, to like the company, right? So you can very easily say, please deposit this. You will have like a couple of like 5 or 6 options from Port Finance, each of them with an associated yield and risk right next to it. So you'll have something like, hey, I can make 10% with high risk. I can make 2% with very low risk. I can make guaranteed this percent with medium risk, all right? Something like that. Okay, so something that's very, very simple, that you as the treasurer of the money stream, as the sender of a money stream, can take advantage of that as the money is moving. On the other side of that equation, the same can be said for the recipient of that money stream. If you're on the receiving end of that money stream, you will be able to say, well, I know that my employer is paying me using money streams, but I don't necessarily need the money right now. Instead of like withdrawing the money, putting it in a wallet, and making a ton of other decisions, I want every single penny that is dropped from my employer to me to be automatically invested in a medium risk money market investment on port finance automatically. On every single block, those funds get redirected to port finance, and port finance does the investment. And whenever you're ready to actually withdraw your money, you simply withdraw. You don't have to actually go to port finance and do anything, like from your wallet or from Mean Finance. You'll be able to do, right click, or how much money do I have here? Oh, I have been deposited, $100 from my salary, and that $100 have grown, $5 because of the yield that I'm making while he's been sitting there. And I'm earning additional yield because of this integration. And I want to withdraw what, $80? Withdraw $80. It doesn't matter. Like, just take the money out immediately. MeanFi will automatically do all of the integration of talking to Port Finance, withdrawing your money from the money market, taking it out into the money stream, and basically dispersing those funds out into you directly when you want to use it. So, in other words, this is a critical partnership because when it goes live, which is not too far from today, when it goes live, what this means is that it is actually more efficient to keep your money in a money stream than in your wallet, because in your wallet your money is always going to be sitting doing absolutely nothing. So you either become an active investor, and you need to be an expert on almost every single protocol out there, and you need to be doing like I'm going to like farm here and invest here and do all of these things. And if you are that, like, don't stop doing it. You probably end up with a more efficient yield than if you just use MeanFi. But for the 99% of people that we're trying to bring over from TradFi, they don't want to be dealing with like they don't even know what a farm is. Like, most people don't even have, like, it's hard to comprehend like what a yield bearing asset, like those combination of words just make most people's heads spin. So what we're trying to do again is like trying to smooth that transition out and make sure that people don't need to be experts at blockchain and crypto and a ton of other things to be able to leverage the benefits of DeFi. And that's what MeanFi is all about, right? Trying to simplify and smooth out that learning curve so that anybody can take advantage of this at a massive scale. All right. Hopefully that answered your question. Boy, that was a long answer. Let me speed up here because we have a ton of other things here. All right. Rolling the question. Port finance. Okay. Hello, Michel. Are there plans in favor of a pension system? Princey, phenomenal question. The answer is yes, yes, and yes. If you go through our roadmap, we have a section of our roadmap which is essentially stage 4, and that is for institutions. And institutions and pensions go hand in hand. They love each other, and we will have a pension system available here in MeanFi. A phenomenal question. Yes, it is coming. This is like something that is a little bit more delayed. It's like we're looking like a year ahead before we can actually, a year forward before we can actually start looking at this. But it is definitely in our plans. 11. After launching and everything becomes stable, can we be the first project to borrow out funds and help the community with little interest in return, just like banks do? I'm not sure what that means. If you mean that if you can help the community with little interest, I don't know what that question means. I'm sorry, I have to move on. What do we use for your collateral if you buy this idea in the future? What? Okay, I have to pass on that. To number 12. I got stuck a little bit on 11 and 12 here. I'm not sure what those two mean. All right, number 13. I'm pretty happy that MeanFi is providing a feature for paying salaries for employees. Can we consider an extra bonus when we offer a full stack financial management services for companies and institutions? Like, since we are going to manage the salaries per month, can we also manage the key protocols of the companies, like money for sectors? Like money for sectors. Durden, help. I don't know if this is. Yeah, I don't know. I don't actually understand the question. A little bit hard for me to answer that if I don't understand it. I'm in number 13, guys, for those who can actually see the AMA question. All right, 14. What is the stage of kids account management by parents? This is such a great question. This has come up so many times right now that, like, we have something called MeanPiggy, like a piggy bank, like, you know, one of those, you know, things where you put like your coins and stuff like that. We have, so it's not live yet, but it is in our roadmap, and we are super excited about that. I have, like, you know, I'm a father. I want this for my kid. I have a niece, like, you know, everywhere there are kids around us, and I think that the future generations are so much more in tune with what's happening digitally and with digital money and with crypto in general, that I think that this is an absolute must-have. We have already so many good things that are planned for this, and it is probably coming in Q2 next year. So stand by. This is one of the most kind of like cherished features that we're bringing into MeanFi. So my heart giggles every time that I think about when we're going to be able to give you guys MeanPiggy for kids. So yes, 100% parenting controls and parenting rights over kids accounts is something that is coming. It's something that's very much needed, and it's something that we're going to make a bliss. We're going to make it fun, engaging, and there's going to be a lot of NFT style interactions in that particular area. So very like kid friendly and engaging, and I guess, yeah, like I cannot say any more than that. It's an awesome thing. Like, I'm really looking forward to that. Let's see. What do you feel is needed to bring more people, moms and dad, into crypto? So I think that two things. You know, moms and dad will be like flying into MeanFi the minute that they hear, of course, the part of having a kid's bank account, that they have certain parental rights to control to. So I think that's going to be a big incentive. In general, I think whether it's mom, dads, grandpas, you know, nephews, young, old, without any kind of distinction, I think people that that are not crypto pros in general, just family folks, everyday banking users, retail banking users, retail investors that have they're kind of like that have simple terms and requirements when it comes into their banking needs, are going to be absolutely floored by the ease of use that they can get when they come and they use MeanFi, as opposed to just any regular wallet and connect to 20 different protocols. When they come and use MeanFi and they can leverage all of the different lending yields that we are giving them with very simple terms, very simple access, without them having to understand what a complex money market is, what a double dipping earning farm is, or what a dual yield pool means. Like, all of those are extremely complex terms. We are 100% removing every single complex interaction that people that most protocols require today to engage with them. So user experience is first and foremost on MeanFi for us. We have since day one been focusing on that, and we will continue to invest on that heavily. And I think that for most people, for moms, for dads, for anybody that needs to be help in this kind of like hand-holding process to get onboarded onto crypto, we are 100% committed to making MeanFi the best and only logical option for those people to come through. That's it. All right. You refer to MeanFi as a bank. Can you elaborate on how it will be like a bank? Boy, you need to just log in into MeanFi and look at that. I mean, we have an account section, we have a transfer section, we have a deposit, we have like, I mean, it feels like a bank, it acts like a bank. It resolves all of the everyday banking workflows that no other DeFi protocol resolves today, like being able to schedule things, being able to invest your money, being able to generate yield without understanding all the complexities about how yield is generating at much, much better rates than any other bank out there. It allows you to essentially leverage your assets the same way that a bank allows you to leverage your real estate assets or your money to borrow against, for whatever you want to do, buy a house, buy a car, it doesn't matter. Like all of those things are going to become more and more common use cases that people are going to be able to do directly on MeanFi without having to think about how it actually happens behind the scene. All right. That doesn't mean that we're building the entire infrastructure to do all those lendings, lending and borrowing and yield generating things. It just means that we are going to be working with our partners to make all of those things happen. We already have, oh boy, quite the lineup of partners that are working with us on this. Okay, so that's how we. How will MeanFi distinguish itself from other DeFi protocols? I think I've covered that pretty extensively at this point. It's a little redundant, I think, unless you guys think otherwise, or help me reframe that question. Do you have a very big community allocation, which is rather rare in crypto? What made you do this? I think I covered a little bit of that at the beginning, but if you have a project, so a big reason. So when we started this project, one of the things that we wanted to make sure it didn't happen is that we didn't we didn't want it to become very slow, very quick, which is almost always what happens. Like a lot of protocols start off, building very, 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 very fast, and then like after they kind of like done their first plateau, they sit on for like a year or 2 years and nothing new comes out. And there's a lot of reasons for this because sometimes there's regulatory pressures that come into the project. Sometimes is the vision of the project is not big enough or long enough or strong enough. The team is not incentivized well enough. The community is not incentivized well enough. So a lot of these things get solved through instead of building an individual company that is simply a company building a product for DeFi, but building a DAO. And a DAO is, a big portion of what makes a DAO work. You can make a DAO and say that you're just making a DAO and fake it until a DAO occurs, or you can actually start a DAO with the proper building blocks, with the proper pillars that will set up the DAO for success in the future. And that has to be putting the community first. If we are saying that we are a DAO and the team gets a 40% allocation, like that's not a DAO. That's just a team giving a little bit of their allocation to the rest of the community. so like it's a very different story if you frame it from one angle than if you frame it from the other. If you say that you're a DAO, but 30% or 20% of your allocation goes out to private investors, like good luck. You're not a DAO. You're just a private company, again, like selling part of your things to a handful of people, and then the community kind of like gets the breadcrumbs of what is left. So from the very beginning, and we have been clear with this, and that's why we're so thankful for our investors that are like extremely aligned with us on this on this fashion. From the beginning, like community first. This project is only going to succeed if the community is bound to succeed with it. That's it. Like if the only way that we win is if we all win. on the project, both as users because we need it, because we love it, because we use it, quite literally we, the team, and everybody else here gets paid using, guess what? Money stream. So we are the first, we are eating our own dog shit. That is like a way of saying it. I know it sounds like a little raw, but it is of saying like the capturing the true meaning of what this means. So that's it. Like that's why the community allocation is so large, and that's why the airdrop is so large. I don't actually have the stats, but I have to guess that by the time, and we don't actually know the final amount of tokens that will be airdrop, but so that we will only be able to say that after the IDO is finished, because price discovery happens on IDO. But after IDO is finished, and we will be able to say, well, this is actually how much value we gave away for free. And that's going to be basically 10 million times the times the price of the token that was the times the price of the mean token that was discovered. So and again, I don't have like all the numbers, but I think I feel fairly confident to say that this airdrop is going to be one of the largest airdrops that I have ever seen. The end. And there is and the one of the reasons why we're fighting so bad to keep away the bots and the airdrop hunters that don't actually deserve it is because we want to make sure that the community is the main beneficiary from that airdrop, and the people that have actually been participating, and the people that actually use the product, and the people that are there with us, giving us feedback, giving us valuable input. I mean, we have a ton of you here in the audience, and we are eternally thankful. Like, we would not be where we are today had it not been for all of you. And this airdrop is for you, not for the bots, not for the cheaters, not for the people that are just airdrop hunters that don't care about the project or don't care about what we're doing, and they just care about a quick flip. Not only will they not be able to do a quick flip on this because they're going to be receiving this as a vested element, but I hope that they get really discouraged. That's all I can say. So I think that kind of wraps up all the questions that we had here. Jordan, Anna, Drogan, anything else that we need to cover? It is 11 already. It's been a full hour of me talking. Maybe we need to take a break.
Yeah, I think that was just right. Thanks for
all right. I'm going to go with, yes, this is good enough.
Yeah.
Wow, 129 people. Like, everybody has been quite pegged. That's awesome. Hello?
Yeah. And just so everyone knows, we'll put a video of this up on YouTube like we always do. So if you ever miss any future ones, you can watch them there.
I think yeah, I don't hear anybody. Hello, hello, hello. 1 2 1 2. Oh, someone removed someone muted me here. How do I remove this?
Okay. Can you guys hear me?
There you go. Someone deafened me. Okay.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
It's Jordan speaking. Okay. So hello guys. I just wanted to talk about I'm sure you guys must have noticed the highlight channel we printed. So just wanted to throw some light on it. Just like what's written out there, the highlights channel. It's like a new channel we created for the community. Yeah. So just like we said, the channel is going to be featuring some of the best works of community members. We're going to show them all, appreciate them for all the things they've been doing so far. So it's going to be like part of our record book and history in MeanFi. So I'm saying everyone should try to participate. Like we've been saying, it's not even too late, even yet, to get your hands on some roles, participate, get active, contribute in whatever way you can. Ask questions, enter into servers, do the right things. You see some people asking wrong questions in wrong servers. there's the research channel there, there's the marketing channel there. Bring in your contributions. We're going to appreciate and reward you for them, so long as they are useful and reasonable to MeanFi. So for those of us who are just joining, you're not late. There's still some time for you to get active and contribute and be a part of what we're building out here. So
yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's not too late. It's not too late to contribute. We still have a couple of weeks before we actually go IDO, and so the airdrop should happen a couple of days. So the airdrop happens a couple of days after that, or the money streams for the airdrops start a couple of days after that. So there's still time for everybody to contribute. 100%. Thank you for that note, Tariq. Yeah.
We still have some couple of questions to go through. I think like 4 questions. Okay, yeah. Someone asked, as you know, several forks and duplicates of Olympus DAO have launched since open new horizon for DeFi enthusiasts, and it seems that initial DeFi system will evolve and adopt this rebase system of home fork. Does MeanFi think about going beyond DeFi and adopt DeFi 2.0 system?
Yes. So short answer is yes, and I'm biting my tongue here to kind of like I cannot. I'm sorry, but so yes, the short answer is yes. Would definitely be a DeFi 2.0 type of token. We're not going to be that necessarily at launch because there's too many things happening, and I think that already with so many things that we have going on, like people are a little overwhelmed. So there's going to be a staged release for some of those bonded things. But there's some big announcements also coming on that end. I don't want to kind of like jinx it or jump too early. But yes, some good observation, and I think that's the future of token economics that makes sense, and we're definitely on that boat.
Okay, another, are you thinking of ways of banking the unbanked, such as people in third world, where unbanked are many? If so, how would you approach this?
Yeah, also a phenomenal question. If anybody that has access to the roadmap would have probably been able to identify in the current stage that we're in, which is the high-X stage. It is geared towards investors. We have one of the deliverables that we have on this stage. It is P2P exchanges, that is peer-to-peer exchanges. And that is going to be one of our main offerings in here. And that kind of guarantees a couple of things. Not only that people will have access to all the DeFi tools that we're offering and that we discussed, but also people that are in very rural areas and remote areas can actually make and build their own economies that are, generally speaking, isolated from the rest of the societies that are more integrated into the banking infrastructure to do things like onboard fiats or off ramp on ramp fiats. So those more segregated communities and more bankless type of communities will hugely benefit from a peer-to-peer type of exchange where they can make liquid their assets and their portfolio on MeanFi directly to one another without necessarily having to interact with the rest of the world. So it is something that is coming and is coming. I'm going to say probably Q2 or Q3 of next year. Right now, the ways are looking, but yes, it's a absolute must-have in our view. So yeah.
And this is the last question. It is an excellent idea to adapt the banking system to crypto. However, state banks will not want this. Do you expect any ban?
Yeah, I think that one I already covered at the beginning, and the answer is like we're not enemies of the banks. We love the banks. We just don't love the banks that are central, and that's what we're fighting against. Ultimately, I think that all of the big banks, Chase, HSBC, all of them, little by little, will move into decentralized infrastructure and more of a free banking system. Otherwise, they will simply die. They'll become dinosaurs and they'll die. There's no way around this. There's no undo button in this process, especially because crypto is already legal tender in many countries around the world, and it's only going to get more legalized. So the only way to stop that is to be at war with countries that accept crypto. Like, in other words, like, it becomes like World War III here, and because of crypto. And I don't think that that's a future that anybody wants or anybody is aiming at. So yeah, I think that there's no turning point here. All right. I think that that's a wrap. Thank you, Tariq, for bringing up this additional questions that I skipped. Guys, it's been over an hour. I need to do a little bit of voice rest, and I have a long day ahead. By the way, it just came up in my calendar. This is how crazy it is. Like, I was sick for the last day or so, and I forgot to actually even mention to you guys that at 12 we have an AMA in Solana news. No, is it today? No, it's actually next week. Why am I have this on the 6th? Never mind. This is not today. This is on the 6th. All right. So yeah, I don't have anything at 12. Never mind. But we're gonna have another an AMA on Solana News on the 6th. It looks like. And tomorrow, in the AMA, we're going to have no, not tomorrow. The day after tomorrow, on the AMA, we're gonna have one of our investors. We're gonna be announcing it soon on Twitter and whatnot. And we need a little bit of help from the DAO to get one of those fancy posters out with a picture similar to what we did on with Matt. So yeah, we're gonna be bringing additional invites into the Friday AMAs. That way, you guys get to see a little bit behind the curtain how all of this stuff actually happens. All right.
Awesome. Thanks so much for all the detailed answers.
My pleasure, Mr. Durden. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. All of you, Durden, Tariq, Drogan, Queen Anne, everybody in the audience, 130 people looking at here. I hope that everybody is extra excited and pumped. We are just on the first floor of an elevator that is going all the way to the sky. And I'm not talking about only the price of Mean token, which of course, like we're all of the game dynamics around that are designed so that it appreciates and the community benefits from it. But just in general, the future of MeanDAO, the future of MeanFi and the Mean protocol, it is bright. And we have so many things to be thankful for, and so many things that we are going to be being true first in the community, in Solana, in all of crypto. Hold on to your seats. If you thought that we were like the announcement of our investors was big deal and big news, you still don't know us very well. So stick around. That's only the beginning. Okay.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Nothing yet. That's right. That's right. That's right. Alrighty, guys. I'm gonna check out. Thank you very much all for coming, and let's fucking go.